Well, good morning, everybody, and it's my great pleasure in welcoming you here for this really important event for three island communities and hopefully for two governments as well. It's quite a risk to come to Orkney in the middle of January with the vagaries of the weather and the challenges of transport systems, but we're all here. And that is absolutely fantastic on this lovely spring day. And so it's great to be here for this event. The Islands deals, we're in some respects at a milestone in this project because there's a lot of the project that's happened already, from the concepts, from the people that came with the ideas, building together into projects, and that went to government for verification that they met with the government policy. And I just want to thank everybody who's done so much to make sure that we got to this point today. And a lot of you are in this room this morning. You're here because you've got a connection with something. You probably have had to put a fair bit of work into something, but the work isn't over. The projects are at the stage they are through your efforts. So I want to thank you for that. But as this is a milestone that we're at today, but there's also a journey ahead, and we know that there's much to be done. There's much to be accomplished with these projects, but we know the value that there will be to our islands can hardly be expressed, because there's just so much necessity for our economies to thrive into the future as we change from older industries that need less people to work in them, and we look at new concepts. But the offering that the islands can give back to the country is so important. And it's not so much about cost, it's about value. These are really valuable projects for us as we develop them, because, you know, the money that is spent in islands circulates far more. There's far more return to governments through, as money goes from purse to pocket in our places, and people get involved in the supply chains that we need to use throughout the country to deliver these projects. So I'm delighted we've got to this point. I'm not going to say much more because I know the other leaders have got things prepared to take into more detail, but I just want to say we're delighted to come to this stage in the project. And I was asked to just say a few words, so a few words that it will be. So I'll move on now, and I'm going to ask Mr. Ivan McKee, MSP, Minister for Business, Trade, Tourism and Enterprise, who's going to speak next.
Great, thanks very much, James, and thanks very much for the warm welcome, and delighted to be here. And as you say, we managed to get here. The weather actually has been very reasonable, I think, and it's a lovely day today. So great to have managed to come up here to Orkney. Always a pleasure to come and visit the islands, and a very special day today, signing the islands growth deal in a few minutes. So I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank the representatives of the three local authorities who we had the pleasure of meeting for dinner last night, Programme Management Office and their colleagues, including the team hosting the event. And I'm hugely aware of the energy, the commitment and the hard work that's gone into getting the deal to this stage. And as James said, this is a milestone, and the hard work in many respects starts now. But this is going to unlock considerable investment and drive economic growth across the three island authorities. That effective partnership and close cooperation are at the heart of the deal programme, and both the Scottish and UK governments, of course, are here today alongside regional partners who will own and implement the deal. And the forging of such strong partnerships, it's impressive and it's wide-ranging, with the universities, Skills Development Scotland, Historic Environment Scotland, Highlands Islands Enterprise, the Port and Harbour Authorities and the Islands, NHS boards, amongst others. I know there are many others in the public, private and voluntary sectors who will play a central role in making the islands growth deal a great success. When I look at the list of projects and programmes, I was really struck by how closely they aligned to the Scottish Government's economic ambitions as articulated in our National Strategy for Economic Transformation. I'm particularly pleased by the strength of partners' commitments to inclusive growth and the focus on investing in high quality, sustainable jobs for the future. Addressing the demographic challenges that you all share is key to ensuring thriving and sustainable island communities. And island economies with that strong focus on leading the way globally to net zero, on supporting growth in existing and future industries and in driving community development are exactly the kind of economies we should invest in for long-term growth and prosperity. And the Scottish Government's £50 million investment in the island's growth deal will deliver projects shaped by local people and priorities that will reinvigorate the island economies and build strategically, and that's very important, strategically for the long term. And I'm greatly impressed by the range and scope of the sectors covered by the deal. Low carbon, housing, skills, sustainable tourism, creative industries, the space industry, food and drink, aquaculture, and of course, business innovation. I don't have time to go through all the deals, but just want to highlight the projects, highlight a few of them. The £6.5 million investment we're putting into the Scapa Flow Future Fuels Fund will help lead the way to the future, with a focus on clean fuels for the transportation industry, and alongside our £9 million investment in the ultra deep water quay in Shetland will enable the islands to service a new tranche of oil and gas decommissions and provide support services for the rapidly growing offshore wind sector. A £3 million investment in the Outer Hebrides-led Creative Islands Wellbeing Programme will help to grow and develop the island's creative industries and strengthen strategic links between the creative arts and tourism sectors. And tourism and culture will also be supported by the £4 million investment we're making in the Outer Hebrides Destination Development Tourism Programme, and our £5.5 million investment in the Orkney World Heritage Gateway project, which I'm very much looking forward to visiting later this morning. Of course, our £1 million investment into the Outer Hebrides Spaceport will see the establishment of the UK's primary suborbital launch site, helping our island economies move into new and exciting sectors of the future. We're also committed to supporting thriving and sustainable local island communities with our £9.6 million investment in the NAB redevelopment in Lerwick, which will help local people to access the property ladder while providing much needed student accommodation. So as we sign the deal this morning, I want to look forward with while a huge amount of work has already gone into reaching this important milestone. It's only the beginning of a long process, and there remains much to do as the deal moves into delivery, and we continue to support you and work very closely together on that journey. And over the coming years, I've no doubt that this deal will deliver the boost our island communities and businesses so desperately need in these unprecedented and uncertain times. It'll therefore give me great pleasure to sign the Islands Growth Deal in a few minutes' time on behalf of the Scottish Government, confirming our £50 million investment and underlining our commitment to supporting inclusive, sustainable economic growth across Orkney, Shetland and Outer Hebrides. So thank you very much.
Thank you indeed. We'll pass on now to the Undersecretary of State for Scotland, Lord Alfred O'Grabble.
Thank you, James. I'm delighted to be here in Orkney to mark the historic signing of the Islands Growth Deal, which includes an investment of £50 million from the UK Government. We've come a long way, actually, since the signing of the first Scottish City and Growth Deal in 2014. We've now got 10 deals in implementation and 2 in negotiation, covering the whole of Scotland. And that's secured over £1.5 billion from the UK Government. The City and Growth Deal programme in Scotland is boosting the economy and creating high-quality, sustainable jobs. The 12 Scottish City and Growth Deals are about creating cities and communities of the future. They empower local communities to develop the projects, programmes and collaborations that place Scotland at the forefront of innovation, technology and connectivity. We worked very closely with the Scottish Government, the 3 island councils and key stakeholders to be able to get this to this point today, and my thanks go out to everyone involved. It's been the local partners who decided what is best for their island communities, and the UK Government has supported this collaborative way of working. That is why the UK Government investment spans a range of innovation, research, culture and tourism projects. Projects like the Island Centre for Net Zero, which is a multi-island innovation centre that will support Orkney, Shetland and the Outer Hebrides to lead the transition to net zero. We're supporting the centre with £16 million in funding, allowing it to develop and trial new decarbonisation solutions that can be replicated worldwide. The centre is being established by a unique islands-based consortium, combining global expertise and local experience. We're also supporting the Outer Hebrides Destination Development Initiative with £4 million in funding. This package of tourism initiatives will help establish the Outer Hebrides as one of Scotland's must-visit destinations, bringing to life the different aspects of the St Kilda Trail. These are just two examples of the many exciting projects in the Islands Growth Deal. The UK Government's wholehearted support for these projects is a clear demonstration of our continued commitment to people across the Scottish Islands. On top of the City and Growth Deal funding, the UK Government has previously committed over £500 million to Scotland through a range of levelling up initiatives. Only yesterday, we announced additional funding of £177 million in Scotland through the round 2 of the Levelling Up Fund. And I'm very pleased to confirm that one of the successful bids includes the £27 million towards the Fair Isle Ferry for the Shetland Islands. Now, I acknowledge there will be some disappointed audience members in the room, particularly those from Orkney. My ministerial colleagues and I advocated consistently for the highest possible number of Scottish bids, but the competitive nature of the process means there will inevitably be some bids that do not progress. My colleagues and I will continue to advocate for Scotland's interests, while we also support the work with the projects selected for the Round 2 Levelling Up Fund to ensure the UK Government continues to deliver for the people of Scotland. Turning back to the reason we're here today, signing this document is a major milestone for communities across the Orkney, Shetland and Outer Hebrides. And I look forward to beginning the work with deal partners and the Scottish Government to deliver these fantastic projects and to see the broad range of benefits over the 10-year lifetime of the deal. So I'd like to finish again by thanking all the local partners here for their hard work and energy in getting us to this stage today. I look forward to visiting these wonderful islands again to see progress firsthand as we all continue to drive the deal forward here and across the whole of Scotland. Thank you very much.
Thank you indeed. I will now hand on to Councillor Emma MacDonald, leader of the Shetland Islands Council.
Thank you very much, James, and thank you very much for your hospitality having us here. It's a real privilege to be able to, in a moment, sign this deal on the behalf of Shetland Islands Council. And it's a real privilege to be here with James and Paul, and I think we've worked really well together and will continue to do so. The 3 island councils are the smallest in Scotland, with just 1.3% of Scotland's population. Our communities are some of the remotest in the UK. However, our islands make an outsized contribution to the economy, including 50% of Scotland's aquaculture, 30% of Scottish sea fish, and they handle 13% of the oil and gas produced in UK waters. With 47% of Scotland's marine estate and 40% of its coastline, the islands also have access to significant untapped blue economy opportunities in areas such as offshore renewable wind, wave and tidal energy, sustainable aquaculture and marine biotechnology. They also contribute substantially to Scottish and UK cultural, historic and natural heritage, being world-class tourist destinations, as I'm sure you've seen if you've been any time in Orkney while you've been here. There's a long history and commitment to cross-island collaboration and partnership, and it's this strength of partnership between these 3 islands which has secured the deal and is set to continue for the next decade, particularly through the 3 joint island innovation focus proposals in the areas of low carbon technologies, creative industries and wellbeing, and skills and talent attraction. There's significant differences between each island group, and the deal contains a number of projects that are island specific, which focus on local opportunities and community priorities. These vital projects supporting our island's sustainability could not have progressed without the UK Government and the Scottish Government's support and investment. It's this commitment to working in partnership with each other, both governments and our local industries and academic partners, that will release our potential by harnessing our island's unique assets and our world-class innovative industries. This partnership will unlock more economic success, and without your help, we would not be able to build on the important contribution the islands already make to the economic vitality of Scotland and the United Kingdom. Our partnership has developed, and as we have developed a deal, and I look forward to seeing how it develops as our programme is delivered over the coming decade. I look forward to working across the next few years with everybody, and it's been a real pleasure to be here today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Emma. And our last contributor is Councillor Paul Steele, a leader of the Western Isles Council.
Thank you. Martin Va. Good morning, everyone. And fijn holidays morgen Evian Sean Jew, her son Kumant, Nanelin Achorgach. Ministers, fellow council leaders, it's a pleasure to be here today for this Islands Deal signing ceremony. The signing of the Islands Growth Deal is both a combination of a vision set out by the local island councils and the UK and Scottish governments and the beginning of the implementation of that vision. It's a milestone towards achieving our aims of securing 1,300 jobs and £393 million worth of investment over 10 years through the Islands Deal, using the resources of our islands and capitalising on our natural assets and, most importantly, our people. It's fitting to sign this agreement at the beginning of the year, during which we will see the first of the Islands Deal projects starting up across the three islands groups. The three islands groups of Orkney, Outer Hebrides and Shetland share significant opportunities and challenges, which have been approached through the Islands Growth Deal by working together to combine resources, share expertise and strengthen collaborative working within and across the islands, highlighted by the work done by our excellent officers from across the authorities who have helped us to get to this point, especially our Islands Deal Programme Director, Ram. The investment we have been able to secure through the Islands Growth Deal is a testament to this joint working and to the significant assets and growth potential within our islands, due to our renewable energy resource, strategic position within the UK, our strong performance in key sectors such as tourism and food and drink, and the creative, innovative and entrepreneurial spirit within our communities, although it's a bit of style as well. I look forward to seeing the Islands Deal projects showcasing our island's natural environment, heritage and culture, and demonstrating how we can lead the way in supporting Scotland and the UK to reach net zero. The islands have come a long way in recent years, from the Our Islands Our Future initiative through the Islands Bill and now the Islands Growth Deal. These are historic milestones, and today is historic in marking the start of a highly ambitious but achievable programme. I think it's only right that the excellent work of my predecessors, Roddy Mackay and Angus Campbell, in taking these initiatives forward is mentioned today, alongside the many members across our islands who have supported this from the start. There is no doubt that our island communities face challenges, and as three island councils, we are committed to working with the government at all levels, ensuring that island issues are recognised across Scottish and UK government policy. I would like to thank our public sector, academic, business, community and third sector partners for their support and work in bringing projects and programmes forward around the strategic deal themes of low carbon, supporting growth and future industries and thriving sustainable communities. So I thank my fellow island councils, both the UK and Scottish Government, and all those who have helped to bring the Islands Growth Deal to this exciting stage. And I would in addition like to thank James and Orkney Islands Council for organising today's events and for being such welcoming hosts. I'm kind there are three Viking Leisure programme, Covenant and Airline. Tap alive. I look forward to seeing the Island Steel programme developing. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much indeed. So that's the last of our contributors. We've got the signing to do next, but just to say once again, just to thank everybody for being here at this very important moment and for the contribution that you have made so far. But we do know that there is much contribution still to be made for us to achieve our whole ambition. And we have been engaging with government today to see other ways that we can fulfill this, because the potential of these islands we have are far more than and they go well beyond this deal. There are many other things that will come our way that we can actually support and make life better for everyone. So we're keen for all these conversations to carry on. So we'll start now, and I'm just going to ask Paul to go up and sign, and each of us will do that in turn, and then we'll stop at the end of that. Thank you, Paul. Thank you very much, everyone. That's the end of the official part of this, so we can all relax. I think we're going to take 1 or 2 photographs yet, so the group here can stay around. I think that's the live stream will be closed off at this point. Thank you very much.
Thank you.